In this video, traders, we are going to look at some of the skills that are needed as a scalper. So if you're a scalper, stick around for this one. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining me. All right, so scalper, day trader, swing trader. Let's categorize those very, very briefly. Scalper is someone who, almost like a cobra. Good analogy this. You're there, you're waiting for your opportunity, you strike, you take your prey, you get out. Now, sometimes you're gonna miss, and that's a stop loss. Sometimes you're gonna strike, you're gonna get what you want, and you're gonna come out, and you're gonna wait again for your next opportunity. Whereas a day trader may well be in the trade for a few hours, a whole day. Yes, there's some similarities, definitely, when we talk about mindset and discipline and stuff, which we'll get to in a moment, between those and all types of traders, to be fair, regardless of time frame. But as a scalper, there's a certain skill set that you almost definitely need, in my opinion, you definitely need to be successful. So there's a very specific person who is good at scalping. And interestingly, you know, if you're good at scalping, you might find that you're not so good at swing trading. There's many scalpers out there who are very good at their craft, but when they try and stretch the time frame out longer, they just can't do it. So if you are kind of in one of those camps, then there's no harm in kind of dedicating the next 90 days, 30 days or whatever to a different time frame to see if you find some improvement in that, if that fits your personality better. Now listen, scalping is no holy grail, no silver bullet if you like. It's not a perfect solution. It's definitely not for everybody. You know, there's definitely pros and cons to it, but anyway, it is what it is. Okay, so this is our channel sponsor. If you haven't checked them out yet, link to them in the description below. If your broker's not been performing very well recently, or from the market for another broker, a backup broker, a broker that offers MT4, MT5, all your commodities, all your currencies, or it's a very good selection of most of the ones we want to trade anyway, the commodities, the currencies, US stocks, indices, that kind of stuff, then there's a link in the description below. Like I say, go and check them out and see if they're right for you. All right, so scalping, let's go. Number one is very good discipline. You knew I was going to say that. You guys have been here before, you know. This has got to be the number one thing. If you haven't got discipline and you scalp, you're out the game. You are literally out of the game, because one tiny slip up, okay, you might get away with one tiny slip up. I'm exaggerating a bit there, but you get the point. If you're constantly not sticking to your exit points, if you're constantly over trading, because you're trading so much more often, and because even if you've got tight spreads, if you've got good spreads, you're still going to have a high transaction cost because you're just literally trading so often, and the transaction cost is going to be more significant based on the profit you're taking. You're taking 10 ticks, 20 ticks out of the market, then of course transaction cost is going to be more significant than if you're taking 1,000 pips out of the market. So that's to be something to bear in mind. And so if you add into that mix poor discipline, holding on to losers longer, you can see that if you're in a trade, it goes against you and you're not cutting it instantly, you're looking for a 10 tick loss, and that runs on 50 ticks, well, you only do that a few times and it's going to take you a lot to get back. So you've got to have solid discipline. But the number thing is, guys, a very common thing with scalpers is a good feel for order flow. This is something that, you know, you can learn some bits and pieces about it, but it's very much something that comes with experience of feeling the market. Now, of course, if you're trading a currency pair, you're not going to be looking at an order book as such if you're trading futures directly on the exchange, but you don't need to. You can still see how markets move, whether they're holding at supports, popping back up, coming back up. You know, that little feel of the test of levels, the probe, is it going to break through? The little things that come with experience definitely is something as a scalper. Lots of screen time helps, especially if you just focus on a couple of markets that you're very, very specialized in. But having that feel for order flow, having that feel for how price is running up to levels, you know, what does it kind of feel like before it's about to break through? What's a breakout look like? Now, of course, not every breakout and all these things are the same, but you start to see little patterns, and that really helps a scalper if you can develop that feel. Rather than, I guess, a systematic approach of maybe swing traders like, okay, I'm looking for this, this, and this, which is fine. Scalper may well still have some setups, kind of patterns, if you like, that he looks at, but then he or she's still going to want to feel that market, feel that order flow. Hey, it's stretched out a bit. Let me fade this for a few ticks, reversal back to this mean, take it off. This one's going to run on now, not going to fade this. You get the idea. Number three, guys, is knowing a small number of markets like the back of your hand. This is the key to successful scalping, in my opinion, is not being crazy and trying to scalp everything. Number one, it's almost impossible to because there's so much going on, but really being focused on one, maybe two markets and just knowing them like the back of your hand, just understanding the little nuances, how they behave when they open, how they behave at certain times of the day, how they behave when they're in trending type mode, how they behave, because then you can start to go, hey, this is something I've seen before, let me trade off this, or, whoa, this is acting a bit unusual. I'm used to cable doing X, Y, Z, I'm used to USD, JPY, I'm used to gold, whatever you decide to scalp, behaving differently. Let me just wait until it's really conditions that suits me, the stuff that I feel I've got a bit of an edge in. So knowing that like the back of the hand allows you to do that, whereas if you're trading multiple different markets, you're dipping in and out of those, you don't know if it's an unusual trade. You can't develop that feel, that order flow intuition that you get from being a scalper. Okay, number 4, guys, is you tend to be, I might get some comments against this, and that's fine, there's different opinions and ways of trading, but tend to be, as a scalper, mean reversion trades. So you'll tend to be looking for a stretch, kind of lots of orders going through, causing the market to move in one direction. You're then looking to fade that little run out of steam and a reversal back. That's generally what a lot of scalpers will do. They will look for little moves, run and fade those back. Now, of course, they may well have a separate strategies that look specifically for jump on momentum and the right conditions, but I think the bread and butter you'll find for many scalpers is that, the fade of a stretch move, waiting for it to pause, and even if it ends up ripping and breaking out, there's enough juice as a scalper catching those little exhaustion moves and unwinds, and that's something a lot of scalpers do specialize in. And number 5 is excellent focus on demand. So it's very tiring, guys. Scalping, you're sitting in front of the screen, you are very super focused on your price. Of course, you're super focused on several price updates. Unlike a swing trader or even a day trader, scalper, every little tick, 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 you're watching, you're processing, you're looking at this, you're looking at that. It's super, super intensive. So you've got to have this focus on demand. And what I mean by demand is you may be sitting there saying, hey, nothing's happening, I'm not getting involved until we're trading around this level, then I'll look to fade, kind of pops below it for a spike back up until we eventually break, or whatever it is. So you don't know when that's going to come. You're sitting there waiting for it. Now it starts to come. You've now got to go from zero kind of relaxation mode because you can't be fully focused all the time to now bang, focus very quickly and on your game and ready to trade that opportunity. And that's something that is a unique skill set that some people can do. Obviously you can develop it, but some people have a kind of much better initial grounding for that than others. Something to think about. Anyway, guys, right. So the 6th and final one I've got for you is an excellent noise filter, or a good noise filter. So this is really covers a lot of things. Number 1, it covers you're just not listening or caring where the market's going in the day. You're not really listening or caring where the market's going in the week. Maybe you are in the day actually, but not listening and caring where the market's going over the medium term, let's say. You're just focused on those short-term price inefficiencies that are happening regularly across all the markets, guys, because you can imagine that there's so many orders going in, that if someone's just urgently wants to do an order, that creates a little price inefficiency, and that's what you're trying to do as a scalper, is capitalize on somebody's urgency and you fading that urgency in most cases. So you need to know what's just noise and chugging around, there's no edge, market's ticking up, ticking down, there's no edge, versus an edge of, okay, this is a key level, this is a key time of day, all this kind of stuff, and trading in that opportunity. And the same with kind of any news flow or any other opinions or any other stuff that might end up catching your eye. Oh, look, I'm trading crude oil, but gold spiking over there and cable spiking and yen's doing, you're staying focused and staying on the job. And then being able to filter out some of the noise. So anyway, guys, those are 6 what I believe are skills that are needed as a scalper. And if you're looking to get in the market for a new broker, if you're in the market for a new broker, should I say, or in the market to a secondary broker or a backup broker, it makes a lot of sense. Our channel description below, go and check them out, have a scroll through. They're regulated in multiple different areas, so depending on when you're watching this, you will find a regulation that covers the area you trade. They're not available to every single country, but an awful lot of countries. So go and check them out, link to them in the description below. If you like this kind of video, like this kind of stuff, of course, thumbs up is appreciated. Take care, guys, whatever you're doing. Bye-bye.